Unicorns Talk is a weekly podcast where we discuss the ups and downs of the human experience, from personal growth to romantic relationships and everything in between. This show is for life livers, life lovers, and life enhancers. My name is Latrice Sampson Richards, your life enhancement coach, and together we're going to laugh, love, and learn to maneuver all of life's little messes. Let's go. Hey everybody, it's Latrice Sampson Richards here. I am a licensed professional counselor and a certified life purpose and relationship coach for Black women who are ready to heal from their past so we can build a future that we deserve. And you are tuned in to episode 26 of Unicorns Talk podcast. So before we really get into it, let me just say this. No, you're not going crazy. Yes, last week was episode 28. And also, yes, this week is episode 26. So I never realized that I skipped episode number 26. And so I wanted to go back and record episode 26 because I had it planned out. I just remember I was having some issues with my laptop. And so I wasn't able to get it recorded. And so I just kind of moved on. And it was like mentally, I left that space for it. So I moved on to episode 27 and then 28. And when I was preparing for today's show, I was, thinking about what I wanted to do for today's show. And I was like, I never went back and did episode number 26. So I'm going back today and doing episode number 26. I apologize for it being out of order. But, it is what it is. I have some really great information for y'all today. Really looking forward to sharing this information with you all today. I mean, we're really closing out the Empower Your Vision Masterclass series, right? So that's what episode 26 was. It was kind of the exclamation point on the Empower Your Vision Masterclass series that we were doing here with the podcast to kind of give you some insight. Now, obviously, it's not as much information as you're going to get in the masterclass, which is actually, I'm going to give y'all some more information about that. That's going to be available really soon. But this piece of the puzzle is really about, overcoming blocks and obstacles. So the last module, module 5, was about or is about overcoming blocks and obstacles. So what I decided to do was to identify the number one obstacle that I get questions about from you all, from the people in my group, my villagers in Trust Village, and just really from, most people, clients, people who I work with, people that I meet in Walmart. It's really about how do I make changes, or like when what I want to do goes against what my family wants or what my friends want, or like it's basically pushing against the grain. So a lot of people struggle with that. I understand it, both personally and professionally. So today we are going to talk about change in the face of family. Okay, so how do we make changes when our family is not on board, or when they're giving us some pushback? All right, so I'm super excited about that. I think this is going to be some really great information for you all. And then after that, we have our high five segment, which I have a lot of high fives today. I think I have like three high fives today, but they're all really, really good high fives. And so I love a high five, y'all. Two things in this world that I love, love, love. Well, three things, but my husband is the first thing because he's so cute and handsome and it's my baby. But anyway, I also love hugs and high fives. And so, anyway, so high fives. And then after that, I got a few shout outs that I want to give, and a few announcements. So, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so change in the face of family. This is one of the biggest blocks, I think, or obstacles that uh, people really ask me about when they stop me or, send me messages and things like that. And so I wanted to address this because I felt like it would give you the most information, like the biggest impact. Okay. So let's go ahead and start with really trying to help you understand the different types of family relationships. So, we're going to talk about three types of family relationships. Now, I'm using family, but this is really relationships in general, okay? This is relationships in general. Family doesn't always have to be blood related. We're talking about the people who are closest to you or the people that you're most connected to, all right? Whether that's blood family or not, okay? So, three types of family relationships. So, you have your core support group, you have your enablers, and then you also have your chronic critics, okay? And then the chronic critics actually is going to break down into two or three different categories as well, all right? So let's start off with the core support group. We've talked about this group before. Your core support group is your people that always have your back, all right? They are also able to tell you when you're wrong though. So they support you, they love you, they provide a good sounding board for you. They're not going to judge you as you falter or make mistakes or try to figure this thing out, right? So they're cheering you on, but then they're also pulling your coattail when your coattail needs to be pulled. All right. So your core support group is your rock. It's your rock of family members, your rock of people who have your back, but who also have your best interest. Okay. That's your core family group or your core support group in terms of family relationships. The second group is your enablers. So, enablers never really allow you to take responsibility for your actions, all right? They make it extremely difficult for you to be able to grow because they never allow you to figure anything out on your own or to experience consequences. Now, we see this a lot in the black community. I'm just going to be real. I mean, let's be all the way real if we're going to do this, right? We see this often in the black community. I think it's most readily identifiable when like in the hood, like, we see grandmothers taking care of their grandchildren and the kids may be cutting up in school or something like that. But this is the not my child parent, right? That's, I think, the best way to explain it. Not my child, even though your child is cutting up at home and you have no control over that child at home. But when it comes to the school and the teacher is calling you and saying your child did this, your child did that, your first thing is not my child, my baby ain't did that. You know what I'm saying? So these are the enablers. They really at their core, they think that they are helping, but in reality they are doing way more harm than good. So they 9 times out of 10, they're likely trying to make up for something that was lacking. So this is why they engage in the enabling behavior, right? Because they're trying to make up for something that was lacking. So either there was a financial lacking, we didn't have enough money to get the things that we needed. Maybe there was an emotional lacking. Maybe I was emotionally stunted, and so I was not able to provide that for you. And I feel bad about that. I feel guilty about the fact that I wasn't able to love on you the way that you needed to be loved on. Maybe I feel embarrassed about the fact that I couldn't tell you that I love you. I couldn't say that I'm sorry, even though I felt that I was sorry. I felt remorse. I wasn't able to verbalize that to you. And so I feel bad about that. I feel guilty and I'm trying to make up for that in other ways. Or maybe I wasn't there physically, right? Maybe I was a drug addict or something like that. Maybe I was in jail. Maybe I'm trying to make up for our living situation or our circumstances or some type of traumatic experience that you had as a result of me not being there or as a result of me not paying attention or me not being able to protect you physically, right? So 9 times out of 10, your enabler is somebody that is trying to make up for something that was lacking in your life, right? They feel some level of guilt and they're trying to make up for it in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Even if they were not the reason that this thing was lacking or that this experience happened in your life, they are trying to make up for it in some way. And so they overcompensate in other ways, okay? Your change when you are dealing with an enabler and you decide that, I need to make some changes in my life. I don't like where I am. I don't take responsibility for my actions. I've made horrible decisions in my life. Like, it's time for me to make a change. Your change can sometimes make them feel like you are rejecting them or that you are rejecting their love, okay? Because their way of showing you love, of giving you love, of taking care of you has been to enable you. All right? That is their expression of love toward you. As twisted as it may be, as, harmful and detrimental in the long run as it may be, it's their attempt. So when you say, this is not working for me, I need you to take a step back, or who I am, who you've raised me to be, who you have contributed to, in terms of my development, is not sufficient or it's not working, then it can make them feel rejected. It can make them feel like you're blaming them. It causes them to have to face their own thoughts or emotions about your experiences. It forces them to confront their own contributions to who and where you are, but also who and where they are in their own lives. You know what I'm saying? So maybe I did those things for you because those things were never done for me, or because those things were done to me or for me in my life. You know what I'm saying? And so when you acknowledge and identify that this is a disruptive mode of being, of existing, then it forces them to then question their own mode of being and existing. And that's a hard pill to swallow. Okay? Because remember, 9 times out of 10, they thought that they were doing the right thing. They thought that they were helping you. They thought that they were showing you love. They thought that they were giving you what you needed in this life. So it came from a, for all intents and purposes, from a good place. It did. It came from a genuinely good place. Okay? They were not trying to do you harm. And yet they did, which is likely the exact opposite of what they were actually trying to do. Okay? So, how do you make change when you're dealing with an enabler? Like, how do you salvage this relationship, right? So, one, I think it's important for you to acknowledge that they thought that they were helping. And that's for yourself, but then also for them, right? So acknowledging the intention behind it, I think is extremely, extremely important. It's important for you because it's easy for us to slip into this, shoulda, coulda, woulda kind of thought process, right? If they should have been more strict with me, they should have done this, or they should not have done that. Like, it's easy for us to really kind of slip into that thought process, but acknowledging and understanding that they truly thought that they were doing the right thing for you, that they genuinely were trying to show you love and to help you get through or make it through or survive whatever the circumstance was. it helps you to soften your heart toward them, okay? And to not necessarily place blame on them for doing the things that they did throughout your life. All right. It also helps them because it identifies to them that, I appreciate what you did. Like I see what you were trying to do, right? I get it. It makes sense to me. I see what you were trying to do. I know that you were not trying to cause me harm, right? But then the next piece of this is to also acknowledge that it did, right? So you acknowledge the intention behind it, and that intention was good and was pure. But then you also have to acknowledge that what they thought was help was actually crippling in your life. And you again need to acknowledge that, not just for yourself, but for them as well. They need to see it. And I would even bet money that somewhere deep down inside, they knew it was crippling. They did. At some point, they did. Maybe not in the beginning, but at some point, they recognized that them enabling you and never allowing you to stand consequences, always upholding you even when you were wrong. Like they knew that that was setting you up for failure at some point. They saw it. They saw that this is what was happening, but they didn't know any other way to do it. They didn't know how else to show you the love. They didn't know how to make it right, how to make it okay for you. You know what I'm saying? Like life I'm talking about. Like how to make life okay for you. Okay? And so they did what they thought was the best thing to do and really all they knew how to do. So acknowledge the intention, but then also acknowledge the reality. Okay? Discuss the changes that you want and need to make. Be very clear and transparent with them about how they can participate in that change. This is what I need you to do. I need you to back off. I need you to let me figure this out. I need you to let me make some mistakes and I need you to not try to swoop in and save me. This is what I need for you to do. I need for you to tell me when I'm wrong and not just be my yes man or to amen every decision that I make, even when you know it's a bad decision. I need you to speak up when you know that I'm making bad choices and bad decisions. This is what I need from you. This is how you can participate in this change because I want you to be a part of this. Right? I'm not trying to cast you out of my life, but I need you to get on board with the life that I'm trying to live now. Okay? And you also need to be clear about the consequences of them failing or refusing to participate on your terms. And so, what that means is you have to be upfront about the reality of what it means if they refuse to love on you and help you the way that you need to be loved on and helped. All right? If you cannot do this, if you cannot allow me to falter, if you cannot resist the urge to swoop in and try to save me, then I'm going to have to create some separation between us. And I don't want to do that, but that's what I'm going to have to do. And they need to be clear about that. They need to understand that either you are with me and you're going to do this the way that I need you to do this in order to, ensure my success, or I need you to step to the side and let me do this on my own or with my support system that I'm going to create for myself. Okay? And you have to be prepared to enforce those consequences. So, no idle threats. No idle threats. Don't say it if you're not going to do it. You have to be prepared to create separation in that relationship if necessary. They are going to see you struggling and they are going to want to swoop in and save you. That's what they do. That's how you ended up being in this situation to begin with. but you have to be prepared to refuse that help and to continue to reset those boundaries. It may take you a couple times. I'm not saying if they try to swoop in, like the first time after you reset those boundaries and then they try to swoop in and save you, or they try to, excuse your behaviors or something like that. I'm not saying that the first time they do that, then you need to just cut them off and you need to, nope, you're not helping, you're not changing, and this, that, and the other. Like, it takes time. It takes time because the reality is that your first instinct might be to let them swoop in and save you. Change does not happen overnight. It's going to take you some time to enact change, and it's going to take them some time to enact change. For many of us, we're talking about generations of enablers. Okay? This is how we show love in my family, not just a situational kind of thing. This is not going to change overnight. But the only way that it will change is if somebody decides that it needs to change and enacts the changes that needs to be made, like really enforces the changes that needs to be made, and that person needs to be you. Okay, if not you, then who? All right. So you want to salvage this relationship. You want them to be a part of your process, but you also need to be willing and able to create that separation if they cannot get on board. Because at the end of the day, the only person responsible for your success and your happiness is you. And so, whether they get on board or not, you have to do what you have to do in order to be okay, in order to make these changes, to be successful at making these changes, and, just to live your best life. Okay? So, those are the enablers. The third and final group or type of family relationships is the chronic critics. Now, the chronic critics, and this is just a term that I came up with, the chronic critics break down into three subcategories, okay? And once I get into these, y'all are going to be like, yes, everybody knows somebody in one of these three categories. And the reason why I break it down is because not everybody that is your critic is against you. I firmly believe that. Not everybody that criticizes where you are or your change or your growth, or, not everybody that's not able to clap for you is wishing for your downfall or jealous of your success. I think I've had enough human experience and experiences as a professional to know that that's just not the way that this works. Okay. It's just not the way that this works. And so I wanted to really help us to understand the three different types of critics that exist in our lives. So let's get started. The first type is the naysayers. Now, these are everything that we think of when we think of a chronic critic, okay? Like, this is your instinctual, like, these are the haters. These are the haters. These are the people who, in their minds, they're like, who do you think you are? Right? They don't believe in you. They don't believe in your dream. They try to convince you that you can't escape the family curse. What makes you think that you're better than everybody else? These are the naysayers. These are the haters. These are the quintessential haters, okay? Um, that is what it is. All right. The second group is the mirror watchers. Okay, mirror watchers, MIRROR, like looking into a mirror. Okay, the mirror watchers. This group of people they're not haters in your life. Okay, they cannot be classified as haters or or even jealous. I think, so often in our community, in the black community, whenever somebody does not cheer for you or cannot cheer for you, we automatically just say, "Oh, girl, they jealous." I mean, how many of us have heard people say that and or have said it ourselves? Girl, she just jealous. She just jealous because you got a man and she ain't got no man. She just jealous because this, that, and the third. So I don't think that it's always about jealousy. I mean, don't get me wrong. You the shit. You know what I'm saying? You are the shit. You are the business. I think that everybody should feel confident in who they are, but you're not that hot that the whole world is jealous of you. Everybody that you know is jealous of you. I mean, ego much? Okay? It's not always about jealousy. It's not always even about you. Okay? The mirror watchers is are people where your success reminds them of their own failure. So their inability to cheer for you and to root for you, it really don't have anything to do with you. It's not about you at all. It's about where they are. It's like looking in a mirror and seeing what they could have been. But more importantly, seeing what they have not become. You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily that they are jealous. It's just that they're not able to root for you because they're not able to see past their own failures and or stagnation. And that's different. Okay? That's different than somebody being a hater. That's different. And so when you're dealing with the mirror watcher, there's no need for you to take that personally because it's not a personal attack against you. It ain't got nothing to do with you. It's about them and where they are, how they see themselves. Okay? So if that person is not cheering for you, it's not always because of who you are or because they're jealous of who you are, what you have. A lot of times it's about them being in their own heads and them really, getting down to the reality of their own stagnation in their lives. Okay? So those are the mirror watchers. And we're gonna talk about how to handle each of these, but I'm just kind of giving us an overview for right now. The third group or subgroup under the naysayers is or are the gatekeepers. Now, this is the subgroup that I think I get the most questions about. Okay. The gatekeepers. So the gatekeepers are kind of like the traditionalist of our families. They make you feel guilty for breaking away from family tradition. Okay. These are the people that they want for the family to stay together. They want to for the family to the nucleus is the word that I'm looking for. They want the nucleus of the family to stay strong. They want everybody to, love on each other and for the family to be strong and for the family history to stay together. They want everybody to know everybody. Like they want every individual decision to be a family decision because in their mind this is how you keep the family together. We don't move away from home. We all come home, we raise our children together. All the cousins know each other, they play with each other and everything like that. And so if you want to move away, well, you're breaking away from family tradition. And how dare you try to do something that, well, I don't want to say how dare you, but why would you want to do something else? Why are you trying to break up the family? They want you to be happy, but they also want you to be close. And their top priority is keeping the family together, which is important. It is important to keep the family connected and to keep the family together. But that doesn't mean that you should have to sacrifice your own happiness in order to do that. Okay? They can be some of your biggest supporters, but you have to make the effort to ensure to them that you will continue to be a part of the family. All right? They want to root for you. They love you. You're a part of the family. They don't mean any harm to you. They just want to know that the family is going to stay together, that you're still going to be a part of their lives, or more importantly, that they're still going to be able to be a part of your life. Okay? So you have to make sure that they know that I may not be here physically, but I'm still a part of this family. Okay? So let's move into that, takes us kind of transitions us into, so how do we handle the naysayers? Okay? Like how do we I mean, excuse me, how do we handle, yeah, the chronic critics, right? What do we do to overcome these particular blocks? Well, for the naysayers and the mirror watchers, right? So your haters and the people who, are looking in the mirror, or the people who are reminded of their own stagnation. The reality is that you need to ignore them and keep on moving. Okay? You need to ignore them and keep on moving. It's slightly different with the mirror watchers than it is for the naysayers, because I think the intention is different, right? But the response is the same. Ignore them and keep on moving, because none of that is about you. None of that is about you. So you do not take it on. You have enough going on in terms of making your changes and ensuring that you can live a happy and successful life. You don't have room on your plate to take on their problems. Okay? You want to create a category for them. Remember, we talked about categories a couple weeks ago. Go back and listen to that. Okay? You create a category for them with appropriate expectations based on who they have shown themselves to be in your life. Okay? So your naysayers are going to go in a different category than your mirror watchers. All right? As you achieve your goals, they're either going to get on board or they're going to hate even more. And when they hate even more, they're gonna say it's your fault that they're hating, right? You change. She changing. She done went to college and she act like she brand new. She done changed. Well, you're supposed to change. As you experience life, you are supposed to change. You should not be the same person this year that you were last year. All right? Either way, you press on and you continue to live the life that makes you happy. Okay? Live your best life. Now, for the gatekeepers, your approach needs to be very much different. Okay? It's going to require a firm but delicate touch. All right? You need to be assertive with gatekeepers. This is who I am. And this is what I am choosing to do with my life, right? I'm not asking for your permission. I'm really just letting you know. This is my attempt to continue to be a part of this family while also living the life that makes me happy, right? I want to share my life with you. Please, allow me to be able to do that. I'm willing to, maybe consider your input when requested, right? If I need your help, then I'll ask for your help, and I am willing to give that some real thought. But at the end of the day, the final decision is mine and mine alone. Okay? So it's really kind of straddling that line between being firm but also having empathy and understanding that they want to support you. They want you to be happy. They want you to be successful. Okay? but they also want to keep the family together. They also want you to be a part of the family and they want to be a part of your life. So you have to be assertive, not aggressive, and for sure not passive. All right? Passivity means doing whatever the family wants you to do and just completely disregarding your own wants and wishes. Aggressive means my way or the damn highway. I don't give a shit what y'all want. It doesn't matter to me how you feel about it. This is what's happening. Okay? That's how you break bridges. That's how you cause turmoil within your family. All right? You want to be somewhere in the middle, assertive. I respect you, I love you, and I appreciate what you're trying to do. I get it, I understand it, but this is something that I need to do for me. And I want you and need you to support me in this. Okay? There's a difference. All right? I want and need you to be a part of my journey. You are my family. I need you to be there for me. But if you cannot respect my decisions and my journey, please step to the side. Okay? I'm not going to love you any less. The love does not go anywhere, but I need you to allow me to do this. All right? They may push back for a while because they are traditionalist and change in their mind, change equals destruction. All right? So you may get some pushback from them, but give them some time. Give them a little bit of time to make this adjustment. All right? Don't take it personal because just like the naysayers and the mirror watchers, it's not about you. It's not about you in particular. Okay? So don't take that personally. All right? And if they cannot find it within themselves to respect your decisions and to allow you to break from family tradition and to live your life and to support you as you do that, then again, you have to be prepared to do it anyway. Okay? And create a support network and a support system for yourself that can love you through that and allow you to do that. All right? So that's it. That is change in the face of family. All right. Let me know, talk back to me, y'all. Let me know your thoughts. I know we all have family members that fall in this category. What were your experiences? How did you handle these different types of family members? Or, what's your plan in terms of dealing with it moving forward? I'm going to be starting on Mondays. We're going to do Unicorns Talk Back on IG Live. I'm going to pop on IG Live every Monday at 7:30 Eastern Time, and we're going to talk about the previous episode, right? So we're going to talk about this, and this is your opportunity to have direct contact with me. Talk to me. Let me know your thoughts about the show, what your revelations were, and maybe if you have questions, if you need more information, if you're trying to implement and you're not sure how to implement, like you're coming up against something that you're struggling to really understand, let me know. Okay, let me know. Unicorns Talk Back every Monday, IG Live. So that means that you need to follow me on Instagram at Unicorns Talk Pod. And yeah, I'm excited about. I'm actually going to start this Monday coming. So we'll be talking about changing the face of family, and I would love to hear back from you. Okay. All right. Coming up next is High Five. Okay, so I have three high fives to give out today. Y'all know I love the high five, but these are some really good high fives this week. Oh, I think they're always good high fives, but whatever. I have some really good high fives to give out today. So the first high five goes to Disney, okay? Disney has announced that they will be donating $1 million to STEM education in honor of the Black Panther movie. So this is amazing, okay? Well, I'm giving this high five, but I do kind of want to see what they're really going to do with it. Because Princess Shuri, from the Black Panther movie, she's a 16-year-old STEM scholar. Okay, like she created all of the gadgets that the Black Panther uses and that the Dora Milaje use. Like she created all of this. She is a whiz kid. In fact, she's actually, according to the Marvel Universe, she is the most intelligent member of the Marvel Universe. Like she's the smartest person in the world, even smarter than Tony Stark. Okay. And so she is 16 years old and she's from Wakanda and she understands vibranium like nobody's business. All right. So this character has really sparked interest in STEM across Black communities, giving Black youth an opportunity to see themselves in STEM careers, which historically Black children have been underrepresented in STEM careers. So, for those of you who have been under a rock for the last 5 years or so, STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math. Okay. So, STEM careers are careers that are really based in science, technology, engineering, and math. And we don't have enough Black people in these areas. And so, Disney donating $1 million to STEM education in honor of Black Panther is phenomenal. It really is. It is phenomenal. The fact that, this Disney princess, Princess Shuri, is a Black princess that is a STEM scholar is, listen, this is unheard of in in the realm of fantasy and fairy tale. And I'm so excited that this is happening, that Disney is really not only just making money off of this movie, because I mean honestly, in the grand scheme of things, of all the money that Disney has made and will make from the Black Panther movie, like, no, $1 million is not like that grand. But for the programs and the educational services that receive this funding, that $1 million is going to make a world of difference. Okay. And so high five to Disney for, putting their money where their mouth is, not just making money from the community, but also reinvesting in the community. This is what we need to see more of. And this is what I get excited to see this. And then, as a side note, Princess Shuri was named the favorite Disney princess by Twitter. I think it's Black Twitter, but it doesn't matter. Princess Shuri is the bomb.com. So, high five to Disney for, putting their money where their mouth is and supporting STEM in Black communities. Okay. The second high five today goes to our former First Lady, Michelle Obama, and she has announced this week that her memoir is going to be released in November of this year. So, November 2018. I am super duper excited about this. I love me some Michelle Obama. Um, she is awesome and amazing, and I want to know more about her. And so I'm excited for this memoir coming out in November. I can't wait to read it. I might even do a giveaway with y'all once it comes out. We'll see. I'll see what I can do for and about that. Okay. But high five to Michelle Obama. Looking forward to reading this memoir. Can't wait. Okay. And then my third and final high five for today goes to comedian Tiffany Haddish. So y'all know how I feel about Tiffany Haddish. I definitely have a girl crush on her. And I'm so excited for her because she is continuing to just shatter these glass ceilings all over the place. And she's staying true to herself while doing it. And I feel like that's the piece of this that I am most just, I don't know, enamored with, She's still Tiffany Haddish, like she's still being herself. So apparently Tiffany Haddish has signed a deal with Netflix to do a comedy special. Reports say that this deal is worth $800,000. And I think Tiffany got on her Instagram or something and she basically clarified that she signed this deal prior to the whole Monique situation that's going on right now, or like that happened that's being dragged out in the media. That, she was offered $800,000. Well, she didn't confirm exactly how much. She said that it's not, the best deal in the world, apparently, but it's enough to take care of herself and her family for a very long time. And so I love Tiffany Haddish. I'm so excited for her. She also is going to be the first black woman to host the MTV Movie Awards. And so it's crazy that in 2018, there's never been a black woman to host the MTV Movie Awards. So Tiffany Haddish is going to be the first to do that. She was also, if you remember, in November of last year, she was the first black woman comedian, the first black female comedian to host Saturday Night Live, which is also freaking ludicrous. You know what I'm saying? So she is, like riding this wave of success. I'm happy for her, on a sister to sister level, because I'm always excited to see black women win and to see us thrive. You know what I'm saying? And I think I'm also happy for her from the perspective of just a healer. I'm always wanting to see us heal. And she has been through so much. And she has come through all of it. And she's come through it just like, just stronger than she was before. And so I'm loving like watching her climb to the top because she has earned every single piece of it, and she's worked hard and she's loving it. She got to meet Oprah, like, and she cried like a old ugly cry. She sure did. When I was watching the video of it, I was like, you know what? I would have cried a ugly cry too, girl. So just high five to Tiffany Haddish for living this life and doing what she needs to do to be unapologetically black, unapologetically her, and just breaking down these glass ceilings for women everywhere, and for black women in particular. High five, Tiff. I can't wait. I'm definitely going to do my best to try to get her on the show. I would love to just sit down and talk with her about her journey. I feel like she has so much to share. And so, if you know somebody, if somebody out there, if y'all listening and y'all got a contact for Tiffany Haddish, make that happen, okay? Because I would love to talk to her and see what wisdom she has to impart. Okay. All right. So that's it for high fives. In terms of shout outs, so of course, I want to give a shout out to Black Married Fly podcast over at BYNK Radio. I will be the guest on their show tomorrow. So I'm super excited about that. It's going to come out on Thursday, which is tomorrow. And it was a really good interview. I love talking with Trev and Candace. They are awesome and amazing. And definitely we've made a deeper connection outside of just like the business realm, but I'm looking forward to that as well. And so and like seeing where that business relationship is going to grow to. And so yeah, so y'all check out Black Married Fly this week. I am the guest on there, so give it a try. If you're not familiar with Black Married Fly, check them out. It's one of my favorite shows. I literally listen to them every week, which they always seem to be surprised by that. But I do. I like the show. I genuinely enjoy their show. So it's in my rotation. So also, shout out to Crystal Clear Podcast. I'm going to be trying to get with Crystal real soon to do some things. It's Whatever Podcast. They reached out to me on Instagram this week and let me know that they're now on Spotify. So congratulations to It's Whatever Podcast. Y'all check them out if you get a chance. And then finally, I want to give a shout out to my husband. I already gave a little bit of a shout out earlier, but I want to give a big shout out. Today is my husband's birthday. And so I want to give a shout out to my husband. I love you, baby. And happy, happy birthday. And I can't wait to celebrate with you. I gave him a really good gift this year, y'all. Y'all should have seen his face. He was so excited. So shout out to my hubby. Happy birthday, baby. I love you. And that's it for shout outs. What else do I have here? So, announcements. The Empower Your Vision Masterclass is going to be available for purchase next week. So, y'all have heard me talk about the Empower Your Vision Masterclass over and over, and so many of you have expressed interest in the masterclass. And so, finally, it's going to be available for you all next week. I have worked very, very hard on putting this together. Actually, it's taken a little bit longer than I thought because like doing the editing of the videos and stuff like that was a little more work intensive than I had anticipated, but it's coming along. I'm almost done. I'm putting like literally the finishing touches on everything. And so everything that we've talked about over the last month and a half to 2 months, all of that is in the masterclass, but it is so much deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? Like it is the nuts and bolts. I am so proud of this masterclass. And so I feel like I've priced it really well so that it's accessible to virtually anyone. So I'm excited about that. So look out for that. I'll give y'all more information once it actually goes live. Trust Village, which is my closed Facebook group, is approaching 400 members. I'm super excited about this. We are about less than 20 away. I think we need like 12 more people to be at 400 members. So once we get to 400 members, I'm going to announce a new giveaway. And it's a biggie, so I'm excited about that. So if you're not yet a member of Trust Village, please join Trust Village. It is a safe space for healing and manifestation for Black women, for us to be able to love on each other and to support each other and to heal some things so that we can manifest some things, okay? So Trust Village is, there for you. Please consider joining if you have not already. We have lots of things going over there. Every Tuesday, I do a live stream, a free live stream. Last night, we did the Ask Treese once a month. We do Ask Treese, where you literally can ask any question that you want to ask virtually. No question is off limits. Okay, so that's Trust Village. I already told y'all earlier, Unicorns Talk Back. I'm going to be starting on IG Live on Mondays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, starting this Monday coming. Okay, and we're going to talk about the episode. It's really where y'all will get an opportunity to talk back to me about the episode and ask questions and just chit chat or whatever y'all want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So Unicorns Talk Back, IG Live, starting this Monday at 7:30 Eastern Time. And then finally, March is Women's History Month. And so, seeing as how I work with Black women and this podcast is dedicated to Black women, I am going to dedicate the month of March to Black women. Black women make history daily just by living our lives and doing our part to uplift our community. And so I really want to highlight that. We are stay at home wives and mothers. We support Black men, Black babies, Black families. We are mental health professionals and healers and change makers. We are musicians and artists and creators. And we are doulas and midwives helping to bring life into this world. I truly believe that some of the most precious history is not found in books. And so for the month of March, I'm going to run a series of interviews with Black female unicorns or female Black unicorns who are making history every single day. So, everyday people who are making history in their lives, in their communities, and in the lives of the people that they interact with. And so I am very excited about this. I have been working on this for months now, getting everything together for these interviews and things. And so I'm really looking forward to this. And it's going to be a treat. It is. It's going to be a treat. I'm very proud of it. So next week starts Women's History Month and our ode to the female black unicorn. All right. So check that out. Make sure y'all follow on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Unicorns Talk Pad. You can also follow me directly at Latrice Sampson Richards on Instagram and Facebook, and then also on Twitter at LSam Richards. Make sure you rate, subscribe, leave a comment, like all that good stuff, specifically on Apple Podcasts. It's really good it helps me to get those ratings up. But don't give me no pity ratings. If you like it, let the people know that you like it. If you learn from it, let the people know that you learn from it. You know what I'm saying? And just, thank y'all so much. I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. Okay? So that's all I got for y'all. Until next time, be well. Bye, y'all.